Hello, book buddies. This is Miss Evelyn. When Miss Evelyn was a little girl, I was very afraid to go in the basement. And my friend Jordan is very afraid of clowns. Everybody's afraid of something. Our book today is Franklin in the Dark. The authors are Paulette, Bourgeois, and Brenda Clark. Franklin is afraid of the dark. Franklin could slide down a riverbank all by himself. He could count forwards and backwards. He could do so many things. He could zip zippers and button buttons. But one problem Franklin had. He was afraid of the dark. That's a problem because Franklin is a turtle. And he was afraid of crawling into his small dark shell. So Franklin dragged his shell behind him. Oh, poor Franklin. I feel sad for Franklin. Every night, Franklin's mother would take a flashlight and shine it into his shell. See, she would say, there's nothing to be afraid of. But Franklin wasn't convinced. He thought there were creepy, slippery monsters inside of his shell. He wouldn't go in there either. One day Franklin took a walk and he met a duck. And he said, "Excuse me, duck, but I'm afraid of small, dark places. And I can't crawl into my shell. Can you help me?" "Well," said the duck, "sometimes I'm afraid of deep water. And when no one's looking, I wear my water wings. Will my water wings help you?" They wouldn't help Franklin. So then Franklin met a lion. He said, "Excuse me, lion, but I'm afraid to go in my shell. Can you help me?" The lion said, "Sometimes I'm afraid of great loud noises, and I wear my earmuffs when nobody's looking. Will my earmuffs help you?" No, that wouldn't help Franklin. So Franklin met a little bird and told him how he was afraid to go into his shell. The bird said, "Sometimes when I'm flying, I get so dizzy, and when no one's looking, I pull out my parachute. Will my parachute help you?" It wouldn't help Franklin. So Franklin met a great big grizzly polar bear and told him how he was afraid to go in his shell. The polar bear said, "Well, I can't help you. Sometimes I'm afraid to go to bed because I'm afraid I'm going to freeze. Will my earmuffs and my hat and my coat, I put on all of my snowsuit. Will that help you?" Well, that wouldn't help Franklin either. So Franklin was very tired and hungry, and he walked and walked, and then he saw his mother. "Oh, Franklin, I was afraid you were lost." "You were afraid?" "Sure, everybody gets afraid of something." "Well, did you find any help?" asked his mother. No, everybody was afraid of something. The polar bear, the lion, even the bird was afraid. Said his mother. So he said, "I just kept walking and walking, but everybody's afraid of something." So it was getting late, and Franklin was very tired and hungry, and they walked until they were all the way home. That night, Franklin's mother fixed him a nice dinner and gave him a big hug before bed. "Good night, dear," she said. Well, guess what Franklin did? He knew what he had to do. He crawled into his small dark shell. He was sure there were creepy things in there, but he said, "I'm gonna be brave." So good night. And that's the end of our story. And guess what? When nobody was looking, Franklin turned on his night light. Wasn't that clever of Franklin? So now it's not so dark in there anymore. I'm very proud of Franklin. What are you afraid of, book buddies? Sometimes we have to just be brave anyway. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with everyone. And I'll see you next time on Story Time with Miss Evelyn. Let me know in the comments section below, what you were once afraid of, but now you're not afraid anymore. Miss Evelyn's not afraid to go in the basement anymore.